Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take something you're curious about, and well, we dive deep. Today, that spark is just one word. Propensity.
Ah, yes, propensity.
We're going to look at what it actually means, maybe where it came from.
And how it turns up, sometimes in surprising ways, right? In conversation, maybe famous quotes.
Exactly. So if you want that, rich understanding without spending hours researching, stick around. Let's get into it.
Okay, so propensity. Let's start right at the definition. The simplest way to put it is a natural tendency or inclination towards something.
A natural tendency. So like an inbuilt lean, not just a choice made once, but something more consistent.
Precisely. It's that default setting almost. And to flesh that out, think synonyms like predisposition, tendency, inclination. They all point to that same core idea.
Predisposition. Yeah, I like that one too. It feels very foundational.
It does. Now, digging a bit deeper, you often look at etymology, right? Where a word comes from.
The history of it.
Yeah. While our sources today don't give us the full story for propensity, looking at a word's origins, like in Merriam-Webster, usually tells you a lot about how the concept itself evolved.
It's like understanding the original blueprint for the idea adds another layer.
Definitely.
Okay, so propensity can sound a little academic, maybe. How does this concept actually show up when we're just talking, like in everyday conversation?
Well, that's where something like conversation analysis comes in, and it's quite fascinating.
How so?
It shows that even casual chat isn't random. There's an order, a structure. It's all about how we choose our words, turn by turn, to build meaning together.
Okay.
So while you probably won't hear someone say, my propensity is to interrupt people.
Probably not.
The analysis of their word choices, their timing, their patterns, that can actually reveal those underlying tendencies, those propensities.
Right. So if someone, say, consistently uses really cautious language, or maybe they have a habit of telling long stories, could you see that as reflecting a propensity?
Absolutely. That's exactly it. It's about those repeated patterns and how someone communicates, maybe a propensity for humor or, like you said, cautiousness, or even a propensity to take charge of the conversation.
Their sort of communication fingerprint.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It reflects those natural inclinations we're talking about.
Interesting. So it's woven into just how we talk. Now, what about more deliberate uses, like in famous quotes or maybe important speeches? We have some examples, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Simple ones, but they illustrate it well. Like, she has a propensity for taking risks.
Okay, straight up characteristic.
Exactly. Or his propensity for exaggeration made his stories entertaining. Here, the tendency leads to a specific outcome.
Right. One describes the trait, the other describes the result of the trait. That makes sense. It makes you wonder, though, about, historical figures or maybe characters in books, even if they didn't use the word propensity. Could we understand them better by thinking about their propensity?
Oh, absolutely. That's a really key point. Think about maybe a political leader known for always seeking compromise.
Okay.
We might say they had a propensity for diplomacy, for finding common ground. That tendency would explain so many of their actions, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it becomes a lens for understanding their whole career, maybe.
Or think of an artist, maybe one who always returned to themes of nature, a propensity for observing the natural world, perhaps. It shapes their entire body of work.
So even without hearing the specific word, recognizing that consistent leaning, that inclination, that propensity helps us interpret what they said, what they did, what they created.
Precisely. It's about understanding those deep-seated tendencies that drive behavior and expression, whether it's a propensity for courage or maybe for quiet reflection.
Okay, so we've unpacked the definition, touched on where words like this come from, seen how the idea works subtly in just everyday chat, and how thinking about someone's underlying propensities can unlock a deeper understanding of, anyone really.
Yeah, it's kind of neat how one word can connect all that, isn't it? It captures something pretty fundamental about, tendencies and inclinations.
It really does. That aha moment of seeing the connection.
It helps you look beyond just single actions and see the patterns, the underlying currents.
So for you listening, maybe start paying attention. See if you notice the word propensity popping up.
Yeah, or just notice those tendencies in people, in characters, in reporting.
And here's a final thought to chew on. What about your own propensities?
Yeah.
What are those natural inclinations that sort of steer your choices, your reactions?
Thinking about that could offer some interesting insights, couldn't it?
Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today. Hope it gave you a new angle on a powerful word.
Indeed. See you next time.